Hi there, today we're going to be taking a look at the Sirius Swift P1 gimbal. So a gimbal is a product used in conjunction with a camera to provide smooth flowing video recordings. So you'd attach your camera directly onto the actual gimbal. So this gimbal can take cameras up to 900 grams and it comes with a couple of accessories that allow you to use a smartphone for instance and even an action camera as well. So I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me quickly run you through what you get in there. So initially you've got 4 cables here, and these are used for different makes of cameras to connect the camera directly to the gimbal for connectivity. Okay, then you've got a micro USB to USB cable for charging the device, and you can charge it just by the connection point there. Then you've got a tripod. So if I open that up, and build quality of this seems good, nice strong plastic, and if I open it up, has quite a wide positioning on there, only because obviously the weight of the camera just to be able to hold large cameras. And if I get my ruler just to show you how tall it is, 13.5 centimeters, and if I pull one of the legs out just to show, it's about 11.5. So good build quality on this. Okay, so next we've got a camera lens support bracket. So if you have additional lens attached to your camera, it just gives that additional bit of support on there. Okay, next you've got a plate where you'd attach your camera to this, tighten it up from the bottom, and obviously hold it in position, and you can slot the plate directly into the gimbal. Okay, then you've got a smartphone adapter. So if I push this down just to show, and if I press this, opens up. So you just slot your phone into there, which I'll show in a bit, and rubber on all sides and plasticky in design and a metal connector there. Okay, then you've got a plate which is used as an adapter for an action camera. So your action camera can just slot in there, and you can use the bracket here and screws to tighten it into position. So quite nice that it's versatile enough to use different items like a smartphone and an action camera. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual gimbal itself. So build quality is good. You've got 2 rubber areas here at the side to provide additional grip. Strong plastic on there. Some elements are aluminium on there. And in terms of controls and screen, so you've got a screen here, you've got a joystick here for controlling the gimbal, 4 buttons, wheel dial with button here at the side. If I come round here, you've got a charging point. You've got buttons here, trigger buttons for additional functionality. On the actual gimbal itself, you've got 3 adjustment points, so here, here, and here, to enable you to adjust it to a point to put a camera on there. And at the bottom, you've got the point where you'd actually put on your tripod. Okay, so next, let's take the gimbal and put the tripod on the end of it. So very straightforward, just screws straight in. Okay, and you can open the legs out and then place it on the table. So very straightforward. Okay, so next let's take the actual mounting plate here, and just to show, it has rubber on 2 sides and 3 positions for the screw. It comes by default with a screw in this location in the middle. And if I take my camera, just a standard point and click Sony camera here, and if I just place the screw there and tighten it up initially by hand, quite easy, place it in this position, and then take the Allen key it comes with just to tighten it further. Okay, so now that's nice and tight. What I can do on the actual gimbal, there's an area here, so if I turn the camera this way, it actually just slots straight in like so. And then what you do, you take it upside down, and then you just tighten it to the position you want. So we'll take it around the middle and just tighten it up, and there you have it. Simple as that to mount your camera on there. Now if you wanted to use the lens support bracket, so if you had a large lens on there, not relevant for this particular scenario, but I'll show it anyway, you can take this particular clamp and screw it straight on. So if I now take this back a little bit and then tighten it, then I can actually put it in the position like this, tighten the other one up, and there you go. And obviously you'd position your camera in a way that will sit over the actual support bracket. But like I say, for my current scenario, it's not relevant, but I thought I'd just show it anyway so you're aware. It's quite good they provide these additional accessories, and it is quite adaptable, so you can loosen this and it can go higher up as well. So pretty cool. Okay, so now the camera's mounted onto the gimbal, so we just need to make adjustments just to make sure it's fairly stable. So looking at it, it is slopping down a little bit. So if I take the rear adjustment here, pull it out a little bit, just get it to a point where it's reasonable. That's not too bad. This one here we can adjust up and down if we wanted. So we'll go for that one. I think let's go for the back. Let's see if anything needs to be done there. We'll do a little bit. And now if we power it on by pressing the power button just up here, just hold on to it. And then what you'll see the display come on. There you go, display's come on. And there you go, it's on now. So spinning it around, using the controller here, the joystick controller, there you go. It's fairly stable from what you can see, and you can adjust it while it is in this position, for instance. That seems pretty good. And this is what I mean by the stabilization. It's amazing with these gimbals. And if I grab it now, let's close the tripod at the bottom and just show. There you go. Keeps it in a single position. And again, like I said, you can put a larger camera, can support up to 900 grams on there. And there you go. Simple to set up with a camera. Okay, so next I've got my smartphone here, and we're going to attempt to mount that onto the gimbal. So very straightforward. They've got an adapter here. You just take your phone, hold on to it, and just tighten it, and there you go, it just clamps it in position. Now if you come around here, there's a screw point, so similar thing again, you get the mounting plate and you just tighten it on, and then the final tightening with the Allen key. Okay, and the same thing again, you just take your camera and just slide it into the plate here. Once it clips in, you can just tighten it up, and there you go. Obviously not balancing, so same thing again, you just adjust it until it seems stable. Okay, so that seems pretty good. And now I spin it around and hold on to the power button. It's come on, and there you go, it's initiated. So if I now move it, you can see it's making a noise only because the motor's on high at the moment. It says high here if I show. See if I just hold on to that for a moment, you can take it down to low, and there you go, that's better. So the high setting would be for the heavier cameras, and the low obviously for the lighter ones. So there you go, simple as that. You can see again how smooth that is and how stable that remains. Okay, so next let me show how to set up the gimbal with an action camera. So I've got my GoPro here, and what you do, you take this mounting plate for it, and very straightforward. You've got a bracket that goes in this area, and there's two screws. So if I just lightly put them in, and I'll put the other one in next, and then you take your action camera and it should just gently slide in there. Loosen it a bit more, just let it slide in, quite a tight fit. Okay, and then tighten up. Okay, so there you go, it's fitted onto the plate, and then if you look underneath it, there's a hole. Other side doesn't have it, it's only on one side. And then you take the mounting plate here, obviously screw in. You could actually in fact use the bracket for the smartphone if you wanted. You could actually just clamp it straight on, so that's possible as well, but obviously it's got a hole there for a purpose. So if we tighten that up, and there you go, that's on, and very simple to put on. Slide in, tighten it up, level it out then. I show, there you go, leveled out, and if I turn it on, we can make any final adjustments we need to once it's on. Okay, there you go, perfect. Just to show, stability is very good on there. One thing I haven't shown actually, so if I now power it off, is one good thing about the design of this. So if you do loosen this and you drop the plate, it stays locked in. So coming in close, there's a little clip here, and it only comes out if you push it down. And there you go. Put it back in, it locks into position. Locks in both ways. So there you go. Great design to it, and works well with an action camera as well. Okay, so next, let me show how to install the app on your mobile phone for this gimbal. So the app is of more use with a smartphone. So I've got my Android device here. I've gone to their website and I'm going to hit download. I'll include a link in the description below for where to download this off. At the moment, from what I've seen, it's not available on the Play Store, but I know from what they've said it will be available soon. So let's give it a moment to download. Okay, so now it's downloaded. If I click here, click on package installer and give it rights to install. Obviously it's not coming off the Play Store. Okay, as it's being installed directly off a website, that's why I'm getting this. I'll just click ignore. And there you go, it's installed. So let me click open now. Okay, and it's asking to turn on Bluetooth, so we'll allow that. Okay, it needs access to location, access to take pictures and video, record audio, and access to storage, and to manage calls as well. Okay, so the app's started now. Okay, so now the app's installed on my smartphone. Let me mount the smartphone onto the gimbal. So if I open it up, put it into position, and clamp it down, and if I come around here, you can just see the camera's easily visible. Okay, and now if I hold on to the power button, which is just up here, let the screen turn on. There you go. And gimbal stabilizes now, and you can see picture on the screen, so it's trying to connect to it. So it connects via Bluetooth, and there you go, it's connected. Now if I bring the gimbal in close, you can see some icons on there. So the first one up here is a Bluetooth icon, so that stopped flashing, that means it's connected. And next to that you've got a battery indicator. And if we now come into the app, you've got a number of options visible on either side. Okay, so next, let me show you the options available on the gimbal and what all the buttons do. Looking here on the display, you can see the Bluetooth icon flashing. That's obviously because the smartphone is not connected. Then you've got the battery indicator there showing how much power is there. And then you've got an indicator for mode. And at the moment it's on TL. And that stands for tilting following locked. So let me show you that in action. You see it's just staying in one position, and the tilting isn't moving at all. And then if I click mode again, which is this one, TF, and that actually stands for tilting following. So if I go like that, you can see it tilting slightly, and you see. Okay, now if I come in again, press it again, it goes to locked mode. So if I now move it, it stays focused on an area. Okay, and coming in close again, and if I press mode, it goes to PV, which is point of view. And that's like so. So it's literally straight on. Okay, let's flip it back. and it's on TL now, so that's all the modes. So now the actual dial wheel at the side. So if I press the button here, that's how you flip between the different options. And this one here is zoom, and zoom would be used with a mobile to allow you to zoom in. And then if I click it again, it's pan motion. So just to show that. There you go. Come in and again, press it again, and that's tilt motion. So now if I do it, there you go, you can see it tilting. And pressing it again goes back to zoom. Okay, now if we look at the buttons here, so if you've got a camera that's supported and it's connected via the cable, you can actually hit the button here to record a video or take a picture. Down below, focus button, again, depending on the camera you've got connected. Mode I've already mentioned. Okay, so down here, you've got the power button, and as well as power, if I double click it quickly, you've got this option up here, and that's to do with the speed of the motors. At the moment, it's on medium. If I move this, it'll allow you to go between the different values. And if you had a heavier camera and it was struggling, you can flip it over to high. There you go. So something like a mobile phone, you can just have it on low. Okay, so next, if I spin the gimbal round, you've got trigger buttons here, one there and one there. So the top one, if I hold on to that, it activates the panning following mode. So if you just want it to come on for a short period, it can come on like so. And the bottom one switches between the tilting following and locked modes. And as well as that, if I just adjust it slightly, so now if I double click the lower trigger, it resets all the axes. So you're not messing around trying to put it back to its normal position. Okay, so the next thing worth mentioning is the cable connectivity options available. So you've got 4 cables, and I've connected one of the cables directly into the gimbal, and if I come round the other end, you can see I've connected that cable directly into my Sony camera here. So the functionality you get with that, if I now go to the record button and hit record, it initiates the record. So if I come in here just to show, there you go, records on. If I press it again, it stops the record. So excellent functionality there. And if I come down and show the button below here, this is the focus button. So if I click that, you can see the function for focusing comes on. There you go again. And if I now come around here, there. So excellent functionality. You don't have to click anything on your camera. You can just press, obviously, the buttons on the gimbal to focus and initiate a record. Okay, so you've seen me go through the options available for this Sirius Swift P1 gimbal. Excellent gimbal with a nice amount of accessories, including a stand and adapters to allow other devices like a mobile or even an action camera to be connected to it. So you're not limited just using a standard camera. So obviously load weight I've already mentioned, which is maximum of 900 grams with this. You've got the cables to allow you to connect cameras and initiate record and focus if it's supported. So there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.